These are all like stations, like production, or just like whatever they're doing. This is our podcast area. So here we do like our podcasting, or just sit around with the family, hang kumbaya. This is an actual studio booth. And then our Nipsey mural. You know, these are.
Yeah, so it's very disruptive. No, it's like it's extremely disruptive.
For those of y'all who don't know me, my name is Paul Willis. I'm the Director of Program and Organizational Development with Beat the Odds. I'm also a hip hop artist. I teach. I do a whole bunch of stuff kind of in community. But we just want to like officially welcome y'all to our space here, our headquarters, our home. Out of this space, and I'm sure that you've heard a lot about what we do during brunch, but you know, we do an artist development program, music production. We teach dance and content creation, both photo and video work. In fact, we bought a bunch of these DJIs because of you and the team that uses them to create content. And so we're just inspired by what you do, and we appreciate y'all for taking the time to kind of meet with us. But really, we wanted to center our youth in this space, right? We do all those programs with a focus on their mental health and well-being. And so, you know, every Monday we have our check-in. It's a community check-in where we do, you know, workshops. You know, we talk about financial literacy. We give them tools to understand trauma, the world around them, coping skills, conflict resolution, all that kind of thing. For some of our kids, this is their first job ever. We pay them to be here to participate in programs. We do that in partnership with the City of Boston. They have a program called Success Link that allows us to pay all of our young people to be here to participate in our programming, so they don't have to choose between working a job and, you know, developing these skills that'll serve them for the rest of their life. So, yeah, just wanted to kind of welcome everybody and to kick us off, and then give our young folks.
I just want to also shout out to Black Man Business, who's from the City of Boston.
Yeah.
Shout out to honestly, no, they did. They really did make a lot of it possible, especially for youth. So shout out to y'all for real, for giving us the space for our youth and for getting us, sponsoring us so we can get a lot of more youth into these spaces for sure. Absolutely.
We've got a lot of like BTO kind of friends and family, and then we have like actual family, right, in the room, and that's dope. We could take time to like go around, like introduce everybody. I think like that could be cool, but honestly, so that we're not like taking up a lot of time just doing introductions, we want to open up the floor for our young folks in the room. Any questions that you might have for LaRussell, Tietta, Splash behind the camera. Their entire team, they like work all together, right? It's not just like the face with LaRussell. Their entire team have helped to kind of build this from the ground up. LaRussell is producing beats, creating his own content, making music, all of that stuff. Met T, helped to elevate, you know, what they were doing. Splash, you came on the team about 2 years ago?
Year and a half.
Yeah. A year and a half ago? Yeah, and so when you talk about kind of being the center of the solar system, the center of the creative economy, right, it starts with the stuff that y'all have started to build for yourselves. So we want to give you an opportunity to kind of ask questions, to learn about their story, and to really kind of receive some insights, you know, while you can. LaRussell will be, you know, one of our keynote speakers at the summit tomorrow, so you'll hear more about that story, but in a more intimate way. We'd love to kind of open up the floor for y'all. So, appreciate you, Justin. Thank you for bringing the food. Yeah, I just want to start there, but when you speak, before you speak, if you could just share your name and your like BTO affiliation, right? And so if you're a friend of the organization, you could say that, talk a little bit about what you do, right? And for our young folks, just say like, you're part of BTO, right? That BTO family. It's cool? Awesome. We got a lot of people here. So this is great. This is great. Want to open up the floor? We got Sonia, we got Saza.
I got a question. Who started this and like what was your reasoning why? Like,
Oh wait, we can do that.
Okay, I can.
Give 'em that.
Okay, so my name is Camilla. I am one of the co-founders and CEO. And really, we started Gio, Louis, and I. We've been close since Gio and Louis grew up together. I met them when I was about 19, and we did music. We all were in the I was singing, he was producing, Gio was making music. So we all kind of met in that scene, and we just felt like there wasn't a space for Boston. There wasn't a space for us to be. There wasn't a place for us to be creatives. There wasn't a space for us to be safe in creatives, right? So it's like you go into a place, you're also wondering, are you safe going to that place, right? So, and also just like the lack of mental health support in our Black and brown community. So we were like, we came together actually after Nipsey Hussle passed. We just kind of, Gio and I both separately, like not even talking to each other, had this like almost idea of how can we do something for our community, for our kids, for our youth, for our like Roxbury, Dorchester, Black and brown youth. And we both told Louis, who then was like
separately.
Separately.
I was like, you guys are talking
and they were
about
like,
the
yo,
same
he
thing.
was like, yo, y'all saying the same thing to me separately. And then we got together. We kind of brought our crew together. We got Jess, we got Leona, Ben. I don't know if he's here or not, but we had a crew of us come together, and we were like, yo, how can we put this together?
Shout out to Applebee's.
Applebee's. We sat at Applebee's. we sat at Applebee's. We had some drinks, and we were like, let's make this happen. And that was 5 years ago. And it was literally just like a dream to create a space where our youth could be free and be seen, right? And it's just grown since then, and it's beautiful to see it. And our goal is to really stay true to ourselves, true to our goals and our values. But yeah, that's how we started.
That's fire.
Yeah.
This is dope.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it didn't always look like this,
Yeah.
right?
Nah.
That first year,
We were at Lena
2019, y'all were at Lena Park
Yep.
with the small kind of leadership group or council.
We just
or
took
something
over
like
their
that.
after school program because they didn't really have one.
Yeah.
Hold on.
They-
Yeah.
so
That's what I'm saying.
So
like,
these two
yeah.
right here,
They're laughing because
And Isaiah.
they are our day ones, right?
they were actually at a community program.
boom boom.
And they
boom.
had nothing to do with BTO, and we just came in, and then we adopted them, and we made them our own, and so they stuck around with us since the beginning, you know. But yeah, it wasn't always like this, you know, through connection and through partnership, because I know this has been a conversation throughout the day that I've had with multiple people. It's like you can't do shit by yourself, right? You gotta have a team, you gotta have a community. So a big thing that we do is like we collaborate with others. So like we're grateful and we have this space because of partnership, because of collaboration, because we're trying to, you know, connect with people. So like we were able to get this space, and specifically in this area, because this is an area that doesn't have spaces like this, that doesn't have spaces where you're gonna see top of the line studio equipment, like, you know, Apple Mac computers, all the best, like, I don't know, engineering technology that you need to have, right? Like, you're not gonna see that in these spaces, and so that's like a real, like, it's intentional to do that. But I know y'all can talk, or anybody from BTO. I don't want to like talk to. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically how we started and how we're kind of trying to continue. Nick's another one. This right here,
Yeah.
Nick. You know, Nick started with us when he was a freshman, sophomore year in high school.
He was a baby.
But he was.
I heard nerd.
He was super. But the thing was with Nick, what's dope about Nick is that Nick came to us and he actually had. I don't think he even knew like what he wanted to do creatively, right? And he kind of bounced through all our programs. He started with music production. He made dope beats. Then he went and started like doing artists, and he started learning how to make music and be an actual artist. And now he does videography, and he makes money doing that. And he also has a clothing line. These are all things he learned because he had a space to do that. Like he had a space to like be like, oh, how can I think outside the box, you know? And those are like real important things that we need to make sure we're like giving a platform for our youth to think outside the box. They don't have to just go down and get a job that everyone is telling them to get. Yeah. They can do and make money however they think that they can do it if they pour into themselves and believe it.
The other thing that's also important for y'all to know is that that was happening. The founding of this organization started with like no money,
No, yeah.
right? And so
Good times.
Camilla and Louie and Gio and Jazz Bet, like this entire kind of village poured everything that they had into getting us off the ground. So you're talking about like food, space for programming, all that kind of stuff. Like some of the original equipment was their personal equipment,
Yeah.
right? Getting started. And so that's important to know because, you know, we were able to get a big kind of cultural investment grant from the city last year.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. But, you know, again, like everything from the ground up started with people first who were who wanted to put our youth at the center, their experiences, and figure out ways to support them, whether or not money's on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to kind of put that out there because that shouldn't be understated.
And just shout out to Gio over there because I know he likes to be behind the scenes and be
He's
quiet.
still working.
But Gio over there, like he's definitely a serious visionary for BTO and like he's poured so much of his heart and soul, especially in the Artist Incubator, which you guys are all gonna see. A lot of them perform tomorrow, or all of them perform tomorrow. You got Sonny, you got Saza, you got Isha, Maceo. They're all been like poured into and like cared for real. And I think, you know, shout out to Gio for really trying to really build that and make that platform for them, you know. So
Before we move on though, we can't forget, we gotta talk about this
NIP.
piece here. This NIP, how it, like, you know.
yeah, I mean, first of all, the quote, the highest human act is to inspire. Like when I tell you that shit just like sat in my soul. And when he passed away, like I don't even think we realized how much it affected us. Like it really fucked us up when he passed away. And you don't realize how much someone inspires you, right? Until like it's crazy until they're gone, right? Like you're like, oh shit, and then you start listening to certain words, right? But really just to have like, you know, everything he talked about in his words is just about like owning, like believing in yourself, pouring into yourself, owning your block, owning your community. Like not letting other people or white people come in and take over, really. And so like him doing that, just like it just like put a fire in us. Like we gotta do that. We gotta do that because Boston does get gentrified. You know, now Roxbury's cool to be at. Y'all wasn't trying to step foot in Roxbury 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't trying to be over here. You know, so like doing that is like Nipsey for sure is like a huge inspiration. And I think that quote alone, like the highest human act is to inspire, like. That's like for me, I can say personally, like that's like my mission and value, no matter where I go, like in life. Like I wanna make sure that I'm planting seeds. I'm making sure that I'm like connecting and putting people in spaces and doing all of that. Cause you're nothing if you're not inspiring someone else. Like if you're not giving someone else some sort of knowledge, like what are you leaving? Like when you're no longer here. So I think shout out to Ben, one of our co-founders. You know? But yeah.
Would love to open it
Pause.
up for conversation,
I
for
know.
questions, for
Go ahead.
and if y'all got questions for folks in the room too, like we will absolutely field those, answer those.
Let's get to know each other. I like going around and kind of introduce.
Oh, you
folks.
wanna,
We
yeah.
We can go this way, start with Najee, and then kind of just make our way around the room.
Let's go.
Sure, let's go. The word. So I'm Najee. Congratulations, y'all. For real, like
Word.
fan. I've been following y'all since since last year. But truly inspired. I'm a singer, songwriter, artist, rapper. I have two questions, even though we're doing the introduction round.
Yeah.
So my first question is, so if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be hip to even.biz, and I think like that platform alone, outside of having your own website, is what all artists should really be on, because like Spotify or any other platform, you're not really getting your bang for your buck right then and there when you need to. So my question is, when you do splits or when you upload on even.biz, and let's say you the artist and then there's the producer, when the producer signs up for the Stripe account as well, do the splits, like the payout goes to both, right? Or is it to just the artist?
You get the input to the split.
Okay.
So you get the input and allocate how much of a percentage you want to go to them.
And then so when you get paid, everybody gets
Exactly.
paid. That's a part of the split.
Yep.
That's dope.
Fire. Okay. Alright, word. And have you ever uploaded, this ain't the question, this is like a part B, but have you ever uploaded a song with a sample on even.biz, or do you tend to just, it's all like original?
I make mostly original music.
Okay.
I kind of try to stray away from
samples?
Yeah, unless it's like some royalty-free shit from Spotify. We recently had a situation where my project with Hit Boy, he ended up using like a kit from Looper Man, and they end up flagging it, and the producers reached out. And since we independent, you know, it's really easy to mitigate and handle that business. Everybody just want their just due.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think even if you do, like when I was coming up and I was uploading a shit ton of music, you know, if it had a sample, I'm still putting it up if it's fire. And I always was like, shit, we'll just wait till they come. You know? If it gets big enough to the point where they're like, hey, this is our shit, then it's like you handle the business when it comes and you treat everybody fairly. If they want to give them something, it's some of their shit too, you feel me? But for the most part, I try to stick to original shit and royalty-free shit.
Right. Okay, and my second question, then I'm good.
That nigga said 1A, 1B.
Yo, who's keeping count? No, right?
What was the pivotal moment in your life that was like, I'm gonna make music? What was going on in your life that made you, this is even if it wasn't music, but I'm just curious, like for music specifically, what was the moment in your life that was like, nah, this is everything. It's not fucking wrong.
I don't think I had one moment that chose that. It was collective for me. I've always just been kind of immersed and consumed in music since a child. So that was just like, I was writing not knowing what I was doing. You know, just to write for fun. That's just really what I enjoy doing. It's the one thing, like, you know, I could try to stop music and I'll be walking around the house with bars in my head and songs in my head. So I don't think it was a moment. Life just kind of chose that path for me.
Hi everyone, I'm Lily. I'm part of BTO. I've done a little bit of everything, but I focus on dance. I don't have any questions right now. I'm Kanai. Same, but like I help with like back stuff and acts. I also don't have any questions. I'm really just here to like gain perspective.
Hi, I'm Jess, and I'm one of the OGs with the odds. I do a little bit of everything whenever I'm told to do anything. I help Camilla out with the dance. We're hoping to bring mental health classes more in January.
Yep.
I'm an outreach coordinator, so I've had a ton of youth mental health training, so I'm an instructor for that. So that's one big thing Camilla and I really want to bring to the table is teaching kids of mental health and how to deal with it, how to cope with it, how to help friends out with it. So that's the plan, to bring that in January, hopefully.
What does that look like?
So right now I teach it in 11th grade in the city of Boston, the North Shore, as we call it. And it's pretty much to teach them not to be like right away, so you're not a psychologist, but you're learning the symptoms and warning signs of a friend or someone else who might be going through it. So it's about a 6-week course, and we discuss from, you know, how to deal with your own mental health, like panic attacks, suicide talks. We talk about substance use, how to deal with that. Just pretty much teaching them warning signs mostly of mental health and how to deal with it. It's pretty big, and you know, and especially in the Black and brown communities, you know, mental health doesn't exist. You know, you're fine. You know, you don't know. It's fine. You're not sad. You're not this. Go do something else.
Or be strong.
Or be strong. Yeah. When in reality, it's not. You know, we all need a little bit of help in that world, and I think the earlier kids are taught how to, you know, the warning signs and how to cope with it, I think the better adults they'll be for, you know, the future. So that's my goal of bringing that to beat the odds. We do it a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But I really want to kind of do that 6-week course.
Like a structure.
Like a structure. And then they get certified, and they get a little certificate that says they're mental health first aiders, which means that, you know, they've been taught and they have a certificate that's good for 3 years. They're allowed to put it in their resume, you know, if they want to go to school, put that on the resume. So yeah, it's fun. And I also teach adults too, so it's just
And I think just to highlight what you're saying, I think for sure in the Black and brown community, like we don't talk about mental health at all, or you just got to be strong, right? But also if you're talking especially about our young Black and brown men and boys, like y'all even to another level of like y'all can't have feelings. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't cry, y'all can't really feel. And I think creating a space where that's okay is important, because so many people suffer in silence, and I think we don't give enough space for our young boys, Black and brown boys, to like really have a space to say, I'm not okay, let me process this, so I'm not, lashing out at other people, or I'm not angry, or I'm not looked at as like an angry person. You know what I'm saying? Like it's always like trauma comes from something, like anger comes from something, right? So like why not really try to get this before it turns into something else? So just I want to uplift that from what you were saying. Thanks, Jeff.
Nick, go ahead.
Alright, so my name is Nick. I make music, got a clothing brand, I shoot videos, and I'm just creative. I can be doing creative shit.
Been with us since 2019. Right.
I don't got no questions either, but it's nice to meet y'all.
Louis, one of the founders, creative director here. I have no questions. I love like the energy in the room. I'll say, it feels like we're literally here on
This is what
Monday.
we do on Monday.
It feel like this is like
it does feel like Monday.
which is super dope. Anytime anybody comes into our space and they sit on that couch, they sit like you do, and they just, you know what I mean? It's like this is like home. And I'm really excited about tomorrow. So I'll stop there.
I'm Adrian. I'm an organizer with Dorchester Art Project. I also organize co-op businesses in Boston and national. And my focus is like conflict res, communication, mindfulness. That's me.
How y'all doing? My name's Joe Saza. I'm a artist, rapper, hip hop artist, singer, songwriter, aspiring producer. Been with BTO since 2019. Very appreciative of the growth that has happened here, and kind of like Louis said, this has genuinely become a second home for myself. Every person in this room I see is family. And then a segue from that, I do have a question. So I was introduced to you through Instagram and seeing the performances you put on at your house, if I'm correct, in the backyard, which just is a really dope idea, and kind of seeing that and you bringing the audience and the people like to home, which is kind of what this feels like to me, and something that I've wanted to do for a while, is put up my own show and just showcase my people and showcase home. So it's not really a question, but I just wanted to hear your perspective on, well, I guess it's a question, why, how that came to be, and how do you think that, in a sense, really helped you get to where you are now?
It came to be, I was going to do a show in Oakland. I'm from a city called Vallejo, and it's like zero infrastructure, right? We don't have labels, we don't have venues, we don't have studios, we don't have marketing agency, none of that, right? So when I used to film content, I used to always have to drive to LA or drive to San Francisco, drive to Sacramento, and Oakland. And this time I was throwing a show in Oakland, and this is when we first was initiated Proud to Pay shows, you know. And I was like, I wanna test the market and see what people would do if they just paid what they felt it was worth, right? And we get the venue booked and everything, and I think the morning of, the owner called me and was just super negative about the idea, and was like, well, I don't know if this is gonna work, and this is, you know, and there was a lot of energy that I just didn't appreciate before the show. The show ended up being successful, but I told myself after that I'm never going to put myself in a position again where somebody could tell me no or disrupt the flow of what I was creating and cultivating. And the very next day we started putting shovels in the dirt in my backyard. My initial investment in the backyard is probably like $20,000 to $25,000 that, you know, I put my own paper in because I knew what I wanted to cultivate. And now we're on year 3 and we've been able to make that investment back, you know, 10, 20 times. But it was really like planting my own money tree. So I didn't have to go ask somebody else to use their infrastructure, when I could use it or how I could use it. Now I could wake up any morning and say, hey, I'm doing something in my backyard and I can sell tickets and take care of my family.
That's the number.
All right, thank you.
Excuse me. My name is Joy, aka Joy Beats. I'm considered BTO family because I'm actually recording and mixing Paul's upcoming album that will be released by like next month, which is my first album that I'm mixing. So, but I'm not just an audio engineer. I'm an artist. That's like my passion. But like I'm using my skills as an engineer and producer to be able to eventually cultivate myself as an artist. So yeah.
You put the yellow cord in your hair, that's hard.
Yeah, there's an artist from Boston. His name is Kareem. He makes these like RCA. Yeah, he gave it to me at the BAM's festival that just occurred. And, I was just in New York and everybody's like, yo, the area.
Joy was in New York yesterday.
I just came back this 7 in the morning, yeah. Drove back. And I do want to respect the environment. I actually got to head out now because I actually have a job interview. Like, good luck.
Get it.
Yeah.
Let's go, Joy.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, Joy.
Love Joy.
Have a great one.
Yeah, good luck, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
Bishop, go ahead and then we'll go to Stacks.
I'm Brian, but people call me Bishop. I'm a hip hop documentarian. I'm also a MC. I'm 90s inspired, so I love boom bap and everything, G-Funk. You know, big shout outs to you and everything, because I mainly don't have questions. As a hip hop documentarian, stories inspire me as it's obvious, but your story when you talked about that situation where you had the choice to put the money towards your clothing company, CG, or GC, I believe. No, I'm sorry, my fault. But or put it in your car, and you was just like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna do what I believe in. I'm gonna put this in me. And as you said, you made that money back tenfold. So it's just like your little stories where you just talking, you know, on stage throughout your performances, you know, in interviews and your songs and everything. It's been very inspirational. So every time when I hear you go, I get revved up. So it's like, you feel me? Yeah, like I even like you just inspired me in that sense, along with many other things. So I just want to give you your flowers and say thank you, and you know, just let you know that you're acknowledged and seen, man. You feel me?
Stacks, and then we'll kick it back to that.
Cool. That's good, y'all. I'm Stacks. I am from Boston, grew up like less than 10 minutes from here. Graduated from Berkeley College of Music, studied music business. Was gonna go to LA and go down like the corporate route, but I kind of had like a spiritual moment like halfway through college and saw that a lot of people were leaving the city. A lot of people were leaving Boston because it's not a major music hub, and decided that I'm gonna stay and help provide and help contribute to the infrastructure that's been built here. So I've been really inspired. I was with BTO most recent, like officially, but like I knew about them for a while because one of my clients is Joe Saza, and so I just kind of met the BTO family through him, and I was like on their ass. I was like, if you need anything, let me know. Just let me know. Like I will literally help with anything. I'm kind of always like that. I believe my purpose is to be a mirror and to radiate light. That's really all I'm ever trying to do. And so when I discovered this space, I was like, y'all are doing something that is absolutely necessary. And I'm an octopus. Good energy always finds good energy. So I kind of put my tentacles up in here and was like just trying to be as indispensable as possible. But yeah, outside of BTO, I manage talent, artists, producers, and songwriters. Most of them are local. There's like one producer in Germany. I don't know. Yeah, I love helping people. That's what I'm here to do.
What does managing talent look like?
Man, the actual role of a manager should not be what I'm doing right now. Like I'm filling a lot of different hats because it's independent. Like I'm at ground zero, so it's.
Why you feel like that shouldn't be your role?
Just for like I feel like people see the role as manager, like it's like the overseer, like the advisor, but I'm in doing like all the different management positions. Like I've done the social media thing, I'm doing the booking, I'm doing the branding, I'm handling the brand partnerships. So I'm really like overseeing everything. So to a lot of people, that's not a manager, that's like a label all in one person. So
I think to every great manager, that's what a manager is. A manager is someone who can manage anything that comes their way.
It's been good
you
though.
should embrace all that. If you look at it as you doing things that a manager not supposed. If you only did the things that you got paid to do, you're only gonna get so far. So it's like take on all those. T is my manager, and T does any and everything necessary, and we wouldn't be to this point without it. So embrace all those things. There's no one role that describes a manager. You feel me? It is all of those things until you build infrastructure and teams around it to support all of those factions and roles.
And even then, you'll still be doing it.
I'm dead. I was actually gonna ask you a question. From one manager to another, I see you. I see you very much. So all the hours that go unseen, you're the only person in the world who's ever been around yourself for 24 hours of every single day. So I see you and I appreciate you, and the rest of your team appreciates you and sees you. What do you believe your greatest gift is as both a manager but just a human being?
Wow. I think I have an exceptional quality of being able to like speak life into people and to get them to see themselves the way that other people do, even if it's difficult for them to realize like their greatness. Like I feel like I have a really great way of like getting people to see like, no, you're more than capable of everything and then some. Like even what you think you're capable of is minute to what you're actually going to be able to do. And I think that because I believe it so fully, it convinces them to believe it in themselves as well. And I don't just speak it, I act on it as well. Like whatever you need to get it done, I'm gonna be right there. Like I'm only ever a call away. And even if you're not on top of it, I'm gonna get on top of it so that way you'll get on top of it.
Right.
I'm getting it done already. And it just helps people believe in themselves.
Wow, I love that.
I'm an
I love
action
that.
taker.
Wow, investing in people and souls, that's beautiful. Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
What are you most proud of about your whole journey, all these years that you spent on this world, impacting all these people? What are you most proud of?
I think that I didn't quit. There was like a lot of moments where I could have chosen a different route, or where I could have just said fuck everything and just. There's a lot of other people I could have ended up like, and I chose to walk in a path that I've never seen anybody else walk in, and do it proudly, and do it with my chin up and my chest out and a smile on my face.
Come on now, amen.
Thank you. So we're gonna kick it back to Ben right now, and then we'll swing it around.
You sure we got everybody over here?
Yeah, good.
Hey guys, welcome to Boston. My name is Ben. I'm one of the founders. My task right now is like community building and outreach. And just, I don't know why everybody's acting cool as shit right now, but we got some dope artists in the building.
Oh no, he's fired. We heard him.
Okay, you did hear him. Okay. All right, we got some good sign in. But I just want to give, I want to give a shout out to the artists that you guys are with. Hopefully you have more time to kind of build with them. But I do have one question. One question is like, who is your top 5 artists that influence you in your artistic expression? I guess.
Pac, Lauryn Hill.
Check.
Paul Hill.
And you took
Kanye.
Absolutely not.
No, she right there.
Lauryn Hill's
She's
here.
on the wall.
Lauryn Hill's here.
She didn't come on the wall.
Kanye.
Pac, Lauryn Hill, Kanye. Nip.
Which Wayne?
Mixtape Weezy.
There you go. Yeah. I feel like that's most. Anyone there's a line, it's the Mixtape Weezy line. Yeah. My inspiration actually is like before that. Like Manny Fresh. I'm producer talk, so like Manny Fresh, Swiss Beats. You know, and then like Pete Rock. Like, yeah, you just keep going. We're just gonna keep going way back. But like, I knew that was coming.
You got one more. Did you say 5?
Yeah.
He hit 5. He hit all
5.
Mary. You're up next.
Hi, I'm Mary. I am the Chief Development Officer for BTO. So I help raise the funds to make all of this possible.
Appreciate you. No question, Mary?
No, sorry, no.
Okay, so we're gonna keep kind of going around that pillar to our brothers who just walked in. It's your turn. So we want y'all to introduce yourselves, and then if you have a question for the Russell and the team that's here.
Okay. Well, my name is Dominique, but they call me A-Zip. Probably one of the hardest artists in Massachusetts. If you know that. I'm being nominated right now too for Hip Hop Artist of the Year from New England. Hope everybody vote for me. And this is my area. I'm from around this area. You know, I grew up here my whole life. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to make a change now. So I got my little suit on. I'm at work. So I heard you was in here. How you know? Zip, man, for rough. I listen to your music, and just trying to help change my community. Like the people that's coming up in it now. You know, I'm one of the people that was in my community that kind of like was, you know what I mean, terrorizing it for real. So, but now I'm like, you know what I mean, in a different path. I got kids. I want my kids to grow up to, you know what I mean, be somebody, do some certain things. So I'm trying to come out here and change it back to where, you know what I mean, it's supposed to be. And shout out my man, yo, right here. He been with me since I was a kid. Yeah, like he been with me since I was a kid, since I was, you know what I mean, exactly what I'm talking about. So, you know what I mean, it's a blessing to be here still in life, you know what I mean, and the way I'm going to accomplishments, and hopefully everybody can do the same thing, you know what I mean. We all got our trials and tribulations, but it depends on how you really take him. So, and this is my colleague right here, Akeem. You know what I mean?
From the same area too, girl from around here as well.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to make a difference now, change my life, you know, try to empower our youth, you know, for their future.
Right.
Right.
I went and signed up for a job on Indeed, went in there for an interview, and he was in there like, yo, I got this job.
Can I say something though to attest to this though? Like, I seen 80 grow up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like you said, he was really terrorizing the city, but if he could change, everybody could change. So that's what you should get out of this, because the streets ain't got nothing for us.
Yeah, them shits is done.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing out there for us. They want us to kill each other. We got to make a change, and with the dope artists that we have in this program, I could see it happening. So he just pulled up, and everything just happens coincidentally. Cause
Stop it up. He's in the area, you right in my area, so you know what I mean. I appreciate you coming here and talking to everybody. You definitely got that wisdom and knowledge for, you know what I mean. It's a blessing that you can give it away for free, because most people don't do it our color. You feel me? So you being out here talking to us black kids, and we don't get that a lot. So I definitely appreciate that. And I got an album. My album just dropped yesterday.
Hey, do it.
On the gram, my name's 8Zip, the number 8, ZIPP. You know what I mean? If y'all follow me, I'll follow you back.
Appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
And I'm at work, so I'm home.
Okay.
Come back around. I gotta go around selling Verizon Fios. Y'all need Verizon Fios. New iPhones, whatever.
Thank you.
Alright, we'll keep kicking it around.
Yeah, Marjorie Good, from the area, born and raised, and worked for the office of the chief of staff. Appreciate all the energy.
Thank you.
What's up, everybody? My name is Elijah. I grew up in the neighborhood as well. I'm the research development manager for the Office of Black Affairs. Glad to be here. Frank Farrell, Executive Director, Office of Black Middle Advancement. Appreciate all the great work Beat the Odds is doing with the Dorchester Art Project. Thank you for you and y'all team for staying indie and still grinding, making max. Y'all are motivating the next director that y'all can do it. Continue to build without needing a major and believing in yourself. So appreciate y'all for that footwork and being consistent with content.
Hi everyone, my name is Osama Sakator. I am a friend of Paul, so I guess I'm new to the BTO family, but I love the work that y'all doing in the mission. What am I? I'm a poet. I run events around the city of Boston as well, Juneteenth in particular, and so that's why I had Paul and other artists come in this year. Outside of poetry, I also work for New Balance as an innovation manager. So if anybody, rocks with the brand,
come on,
reach out to me.
Louis walks by right at that moment.
And I recently just graduated from Kellogg to get my MBA over in Illinois. Thank you. So I left Boston for 2 years. Happy to come back. I'm dying to come back. So just happy to see you as well, because I've been following you for a while as well, and with the backyard performances. And as a poet, I know it's really hard sometimes for us to tap into that creative side when there's a pandemic going on. You run your business as well, and so I'm sure that all gets in your head. My question is, how do you keep your creative process going when there's so many other distractions that you have to manage, personal, business? Obviously, when you collab with other people, you kind of bring on their energy as well. So how do you make sure you stay focused and it's this is what I need to get out tonight?
Every process of my business is creative for me. Even when we do deals, we do it very creatively. So I figure out a way to have fun and be creative in every process that I have to do. And I don't, I'm a free man, so I just wake up and I do whatever comes naturally and feels good to me, and that's what we execute. We walk step by step until we get there. I don't run too far ahead of where I need to be. I lock in on what I want to do next, and I get that to a point where it's like, all right, we're here. Now we can decide what we want to do with it. So for me, it's just kind of staying presently focused in it and not looking too far ahead or too far back.
Appreciate you.
Hi everyone, I'm Yolanda. I'm here with him. I'm his girlfriend, and if not for him, I probably wouldn't be here. I guess I'm just here to learn a little bit more about the creative space in Boston, especially within the diaspora, because Boston is probably known as a place that there's no creativity. Even when we go on trips and we go to different places around the states, it's like, oh, they have black people in Boston? Yes, they have black people in Boston. And they have a lot of creativity in Boston, so just here to just grow and also gain perspective. I think my question for you would be, what role does faith play in your process?
I think for me, I have a lot of faith in myself. I don't put my faith in anything outside of me. I have faith in myself that I'm gonna wake up and do the work that I need to do to get to where I need to go, and I leave it there. I'm not like a wishful thinker. I don't really wish for things to happen. If I'm not willing to get up and work for it, I know that it's not gonna exist for me. So my faith is really based in me knowing that I'm gonna get up and do everything that it takes to get done what I want to get done.
Hey, I'm Maya. I am the founder of Rose Projects, which is a creative agency based out of Boston. Also talent manager for Cause, and I'm supporting BTO on this initiative and also the after party. I know that y'all probably won't be there, but we all gonna be here turn up. So
it's Gio's birthday. We turn up.
But I actually have a question for you.
Can I ask a question? What does the talent manager do?
So
what does that consist of?
So recently this year, I've managed to put together a partnership between Haws and an NFT company out in the UK. We were able to put together an art gallery that was a compilation of the work that I've actually worked on with him over the past like 2 or 3 years. As well as I always get on Hawes' case about this because when I first started working with him, he was not super fond of performing. And it had me in my mind like, well, how do I be a manager if I know that one of the primary revenue sources is to get on stage, and that's another way to expose your artists to get, you know, more opportunities to gradually get fans. But actually this year we've been able to get on the stage with an ASAP Mob member, ASAP 12B, so we were able to open up for him this year. Those are the 2 things that I've done this year. Partnerships is one of the major things that I focus on because I understand how that can drive revenue and then put you in you can kind of take a piece of everybody's demographic as well. So that's been my focus, as well as like more stages for sure. You know, artists on more stages. I identify as a creative executive, which is someone that's an executive as well as a creative. So they have their own creative practices. They might be a creative director, but they might also help other artists or creatives get deals as well. And I feel like you made a song recently.
Me?
Yeah, did you? Did she perform recently? No, maybe I'm tripping. Well, are you a creative at all?
Yeah.
I do poetry, yeah.
That's what it was. Okay, my apologies. But how do you manage the 2? Being a creative, being a poet, as well as being an executive, being a manager, and you know, getting the work done, getting the deals done?
Day by day. I don't even think about it too much. Like whatever the task at hand that needs to get done is where I focus all of my energy. And when that task is done, then I move on to the next one, I move on to the next one. Maintenance wise, I have like a nice little checklist of like, you know, emails, making sure that things stay organized within there so that way documents don't get missed, don't get signed and deadlines and things. But really just day by day. I mean, you could make all the plans you want in the world, but life is just gonna laugh at you.
Right.
So I just take it day by day.
I be saying that all the time.
Oh, well, I'm not part of any group. I'm just a spectator, spectating. Name's Patrick, Paul's brother, Paul's older brother, so I'm just here for the help and for the festivities. So nice to meet everyone.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sanye. I'm a member of BTO's Boston as well. I'm an artist as well. Born and raised in Boston. This is a city where I've learned a lot about myself as a human being, a lot about myself as a comedian. I got the opportunity to also go out to Florida with my brother Saza and learn. To say learn a lot is an understatement, but about what it means to be a spirit. I have a question in that sense to both of you guys, if you would. First, what does art mean to you guys? What does being a human mean to you guys? And how do the 2 meanings correlate with each other and influence each other for you guys individually? So, not because, well, not only for that, but what does it mean to be a human being? What does it mean to be, or art in general? And then how do those 2 definitions coexist and influence you guys' individual journeys in general?
For me, being human is always at like the forefront of everything that I do. I think to be human is to be humane. That's to be respectful and civil and do what's right for the people. And I think that's something that I kind of lead with, even through art. And that's always kind of shining through me. The more I grow and the more I learn. You know, like I've gotten to a point, me and the homies, like we don't even do art with people if they talking about violence and murder and killing people and they rap, you know. It's like we all from the same section and that used to be the thing, but now it's like I won't even allow. We get in the studio with certain people and I'll literally say before we start, ain't nobody can die in this song. You know, for real. And there's a lot of artists who won't take those stances. You know, I say things in my freestyles and raps that everybody be thinking but niggas don't be saying because they don't want to step on nobody's toes. But I'm like, if you trying to preserve somebody who's destroying the neighborhood and the city and the community and their own people, then you're on the wrong side of preservation. You know, I've been asked to change verses and remove things where it's like, no. No, I think everybody should be held accountable for being a great human, and I think that should be the lead in everything that we do. So for me, being a human is just like vital. You know, if I can't do that well, when I'm not being a great human, nothing great really happens in my life and transpires. You know, at least to a point where I could like really feel it and live in it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you?
Right.
Everything he said, and then some. I feel like it's we reflect each other in that way. Like we wouldn't even have been able to build what we've built together if our morals weren't so deeply aligned on what it means to be a good human and how to bring that into the world and inspire others to do that.
And I think that's a big focal with you guys as managers. Like sometimes managing isn't like T doesn't really need to manage me artistically. I'm a workhorse. I don't really have to be managed artistically or through work. Me and T have really thrived because we communicate humanity and what it looks like. How does this benefit people? How does this, like, you know, the other day we was filming and I was upset about something and I had communicated something to Splash in a way that we don't communicate. And she told me in the car, she said, you should apologize to Splash because we don't speak to one another that way. That's management. You feel me? And I had to sit with myself in that moment because that's usually me saying that, you know, and I had to flip the role and be like, you're right. But that's the parts of management that people miss. It's not about the creativity. It's about cultivating good humans that can make good art. You feel me? It's going to be hard to make something substantial and great if you're not even great within yourself.
Right. Man, that's crazy that you say that too, because I feel like that's like what's
missing.
That's where we lose great artists at, is they get so high that like their management and people be afraid to lose their position that they no longer can communicate to the human. And they allow these artists to get too big and too disconnected from other people, and next thing you know, they're not a good human anymore. And then the art immediately reflects that.
And they don't have people around them that's bold enough to say something. And not even bold enough, people that love them enough. You know, it's funny, I went to Diddy crib a few years ago, and as I walked in, bro was telling me, as I came in, bro was telling me, like, he was like, man, this is my dream job and all I ever wanted. And it was like, this is the as I was there, I started realizing so many people. He had played me a song that he wanted me to write on, and I had told him I didn't love it. I was like, I don't love the record. And the room went silent because nobody has ever told him, no, this isn't it. This isn't right? And I realized in that moment he had a bunch of people around him who this were their dream jobs, and they didn't want to risk losing their job over his health or you know, his wellness. You feel me? So it's important, like, managing artists to not it's not just about a job. It's like if you're not working with someone that you care about deeply, that you're willing to, you know, actually cultivate, you should step out of that position.
You got to be willing to get big.
To free somebody. If you want to free an animal, you got to be willing to get bit sometimes. And if you're not
always receive it eventually. So I'm never like too afraid to have tough conversations, but I feel like people that you can't have tough conversations with tell you that you don't need to be in that space then. That's not a person that you should be cultivating with. Like, if you get bit and then they don't be like, that was wrong. Like, I know that my initial response wasn't correct, but I'm here to correct it now. If you don't get to those spaces with people, then you know you're not in the right company.
Right. One of the ways that we talk about our work here, that we can't do artist development without human development. Like, those things are one and the same. So that's an amazing question. I'm glad that we got that. Johansi, what's up, man? You want to introduce yourself?
My name's Johansi. I'm a photographer / printer. I help out. I'm like Jess. I help out whatever needs to be helped out with. I help make the merchandise. Teach photography when it needs to be taught. Videos, if we got to do videos. If I gotta hold the light, I hold the light. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm a runner. If I gotta do something, I'm gonna do it. As long as everything come out good, that's all that matters. So.
Johannes is going to be doing photos and headshots
tomorrow
for artists who need them at the site. Justin, what's up, man?
Nice to meet you. I gotta go pick up my son.
Hey, don't forget my daughter. Don't forget my daughter. Forget my daughter too. Thank you. Camilla, can you tell somebody know that
yeah, your name, a little bit about what you do, because you've been in the game for a minute, Justin.
You go, Bishop. Still recording.
What's up, everybody? My name is Justin Springer. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I volunteer with BTO, support anywhere I can through connections. I'm the co-owner of a restaurant. I'm working on our second one right down the street. I also do consulting for a lot of different theater groups. We just did a play. Hoops, yes, I don't know my own stuff.
That was dope.
And I just believe in investing in our creatives. I grew up in the nonprofit, so whatever I can do to get back to BTO. And everything that BTO is doing, everything, as I was a curator growing up, I wanted to be a part of it. So to see it in fruition and to be a part of it is a blessing. So I brought some food, so hopefully it's not too cold.
We got a microwave.
He
said, oh, okay, sorry. I don't got a stove yet. I'm gonna get it though. I will get it. Right.
Justin's restaurant is Rhythm and Raps, and so it's all vegan food, and it's done extremely well. Over there at the spot. But Justin, he's also being like super humble and modest because he did a lot of like music promotion and concert promotion back in the day, and has been kind of in the music space and in the culture space for us in our city for a long time. And so it's just dope, you know what I mean, to have his support with this. Hawes, I know you were also at like breakfast and brunch with everybody.
No, but yo, baby, we need to know about Hawes.
Gio, come here.
Hawes and Gio better come up here. Oh, Naya.
Come here, Naya.
Yeah,
do a quick introduction to you.
What the hell? I'm Naya. I've been with BCO for about like 3 or 4 years.
Four.
Oh, 4 years? 4 years. And I just helped them out with like dance.
You do a lot.
Okay.
Gio.
Artist, rapper, also one of the co-owners of the Dorchester Art Project, a newly founded venture that we kind of took from the nonprofit industrial complex and kind of transformed it to something that could be more centric and more centered around artists and community. Putting them first, but outside of that, I love music. I love what you guys do. That's why I reached out to have you guys come down here, because I think you are important to the conversation that the world is having right now about creative entrepreneurship. And I think you're an integral component for this community and kind of being here and your presence and your energy being shared and moving us forward. And I kind of urge everybody in the room, this is an opportunity to step up to the plate and do what we need to do. Like, shit like this doesn't happen all the time. I don't have the energy to like make shit like this happen all the time. We put a lot of time and effort into this and making it possible. So it's like, I'm hoping the next 6 months this transition changes a lot for not only everybody in this room, but folks in our community and folks outside of the community that are trying to do stuff similar. That's why we made this possible. My good partner here, G Money.
I appreciate everybody being here. My name is Giovanni, co-founder of Beat the Odds, also an artist, content creator. This is really dope as an artist. Being from Boston, always felt like my biggest regret was not leaving Boston. So, I made it a point, to bring industry resources and bring the best minds. And even if it's for one day, like to have them in the building and like in the hopes that we can create these relationships, these pipelines, you know what I mean? So that we can share those resources with everybody, right? There's so much talent that exists here, and as a city, we do an amazing job to pour into that talent, but like, we do know that it's who you know, not what you know, right? So, and definitely like, you're the perfect person to bring into that. Like everything that you do, you pretty much provide the blueprint, right? Like on how to be successful and do it on your own with your team, So definitely want to salute you for that. And so
I would add to that, like, it's simplifying what it means to be an independent artist in this modern era. Right? This is like, shit's happening, like, setting, like, unprecedented, the way that you move, the way that you communicate your content, your messaging. I think that's why I told you guys at the restaurant, like, this meal being an important piece to this space, because through what it's actually saying, like, what he meant, what he means, this shit is important, and what we're trying to create here, outside of just building relationships and building up the industry's natural infrastructure that people can pull from, extract from, be of a resource to, like, kind of creating this community that is different from what we've seen before and can take us into the future and really point into the next generation of artists, because I feel like we're very similar in a way to where you come from, to where it's a large independent market here, while we're, you know, we're still like in that bubbling, that cusp, trying to get over that hump. There's the vast independent market here with artists all across Massachusetts that are doing their thing, and we're just underrepresented, you know, underrepresented, under-resourced, and we're trying to kind of, you know, break the silos down, create cohesion, so that we can have that entry, we can be a player, we can be a major market for folks to come to and want to travel to and see what we got going here. Not just music, arts and culture across the board. Like, Dorchester Art Project, we're an arts and culture company, so we support all the disciplines. I want to make sure that every artist wins, like, when we're said and done. So I appreciate y'all for coming. Thank you for the questions going around. I feel like we're well acquainted. Let's get some music before the food gets cold.
I just want to say one thing. I do want to highlight, and for y'all to know, like, Gio and Haas, like, y'all put in mad work. And for real, like, for y'all, I know Gio, you've been talking about this since we started BTO, and like collabing with Haas to really make this work, and like, you guys really worked hard to do this, and to have you here and to just build this platform. So like, it's happening, and like, just giving y'all flowers for like doing that. You know what I'm saying? So for real, giving that. And Louis for all the art that you had to do at all hours of the night.
Let's clap it up for
Because I want Jay to be able to kind of introduce himself.
I mean, I was listening. I'm chilling.
Yeah, it's all good.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Jetty J. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm the CEO, founder of Cadence Entertainment. So we basically focus on artist development and growth. We work with different artists, producers, DJs, content creators, different things like that. So I also do tours. So I put together a 13-city tour. And I was able to independently as well. So I was able to, travel and basically just go around and everything like that. So now, off that, I was able to sign a distribution deal with 300. So now I'm signed on 300 under my brand. So that's a JV. So nothing is binding. So I'm also independent as well. Still, they just help me with the extra support that I need. So I came here like 2 weeks ago, and they played me similar to y'all music. Like
we played Sanye, we played some Saza,
and y'all is crazy. Like that's why I'm ready to lock in with y'all for real. Like, got any questions? Like, feel free to lock in. Like, I'm gonna definitely looking to work with like.
Thank you for being there.
Yeah, what's up, Saza?
I just wanted to give Gio, Louis their flowers. I know like this is very much about the artist, but I can remember the first meeting we had in the park, and seeing how far we've grown, having people like you here in this space right now speaks to all the work within the 5 years that you guys put in, and it's a beautiful thing. And I feel like this entire month I've been going around just giving you guys flowers because genuinely, I'm proud of you guys. So,
Yeah.